Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky III. Ahead of us is the final sealing stone, and so we're now going to answer the question of who is the last party member. And I'm going to do something special here, and unlike most of the main story, I will be using the Japanese voice patch for this. Let's head back right now. For this one, they don't make any attempt at hiding who's inside this. The moment that you see Patamata, it's obvious. Also, there's that frozen archdevil there.
してレンがこんな変な場所にいるの？レン、落ち着いて聞いて。これにはいろいろと訳があって、近寄らないで。それ以上近寄ったらレンはエステルを殺すわ。
エステル、ちょっと下がってて。レン、本当に久しぶりだね。実際に顔を合わせるのはアクシスピラー以来かな。
そんなの知らない。ヨシュアだってエステルと同じよ。散々レンのこと追いかけ回したりして。
やっぱり気づいていたんだね。うん、確かにここ数ヶ月僕たちは君のことを探していた。今はクロスベルにいるけど結構近くにいるんじゃないかな。
そんな近くまで。どうしてなんで追いかけたりするのよ。
Okay, so in Japanese, she actually was giving them a little bit more of a hint there, because instead of crossbell, she said, "You're that close." So she just indirectly let slip that she's near crossbell.
とにかく一度君と話がしたかったんだ。裏ルートで聞いたけど、君あれから結社にも戻っていないそうじゃないか。
そんなのレンの勝手でしょ。レンはあなたたちとなんか話したくも顔を見たくもないんだから。なんで放っておいてくれないの？
それは
ごめんレン。私あれからずっとレンのことが気になってて、ヨシュアに調べてもらっていろいろな場所を探し回って、でもこうして会えて本当によかった。そんなのわかったわ。エステルってばうまいこと言ってレンを捕まえるつもりでしょ。言っておくけど、レンは結社のことなんてヨシュア程度にしか知らないわ。知っていたとしても教えるつもりなんてないし。残念だったわね。ちょっと待ってよ。なんだか知らないけど見たような顔がゾロゾロいるわね。さすがにレンもこの人数を一人で相手にするのは難しいけど、確実に何人かは殺してあげるから、その気ならかかってくるといいわ。レンちゃん。
おいおい。
シェラ先輩、どうしましょう。
参ったわね、こりゃ。なるほど、あなたの正体が分かりました。結社の執行者ナンバー15、殲滅天使ですね。
そうだけどお姉さんは初めて見る顔ね。教会の騎士さんかしら。
ええ、聖杯の重騎士リース・アルジェントと言います。事情は存じませんが、わがままは対岸にしたらどうですか。
わがまま？
聞けばあなたは類いまれなる処理能力を持つとか。その際をもって結社に見出され、あらゆる技術を習得したそうですね。ならば これがあなたを捕らえる罠ではないことくらい本当はすでに分かっているはず。なのにダダをこねるというのはわがままとしか言いようがないでしょう。
Yes, this is just yeah. Wow, Reese, you're amazing.
リースさん、はっきり言うな。面白いわ、お姉さん。いくら聖杯騎士とはいえ、重騎士ごときが蓮に向かってそんな口の利き方、よっぽど殲滅されたいみたいね。
そちらこそ。どんな事情があるかは知りませんが、蛇と慣れ合うつもりはありません。そちらがその気ならいつでもお相手しましょう。
リーさん宝剣使いさんね。前に何人か戦ったけど確かにそこそこ手強かったわ。もっともパターンが読めたら蓮の敵じゃなかったけど、最後にはみんなみっともなく泣きわめきながら蓮に命乞いをしていたわ。お姉さんはどんな声で泣いてくれるのかしら。ちょっと店長、
ご託は結構です。早くかかってきたらどうですか。
そうね。二人ともいい加減にしてください。
あ、
ティータ？
おいこら。
二人ともなんでそうなるんですか。レンちゃんは本当はお姉ちゃんたちと会えて嬉しいって思ってるくせに、リースさんだってレンちゃんが悪い子じゃないって本当は気づいてるくせに。
ティータさん、
何よ、レンがエステルたちに会えて嬉しいだなんてあるわけが。だったらどうしてお姉ちゃんに抱きしめられてあんなに幸せそうにしてたの？あったかくていい匂いだって。それなのに話したくないとか顔も見たくないとか。ちょっとティータ、そんなの絶対に嘘なんだから。ティータ、
ったく無茶しやがるぜ。
まったくもう。ティータってば蓮の一つお姉さんなんでしょ。なのにそんなにベソ書いて本当にお子様なんだから。だってせっかくお姉ちゃんたちとレンちゃんが会えたのに、こんなのってちょっとなんでティータが、どうしてティータが泣いたりするのよ。前にも言ったけどそんなの決まってるじゃない。 レンのことが好きだからよ。ねえレン、ここは一時休戦にしない？休戦？そう、今私たちかなり困った状況にいるのよ。そして何の偶然かレンも同じ状況にいる。それを打開するためにいろいろな事情は一旦置いておいて協力し合えないかってこと。
確かに我々が置かれている状況は未だ不明瞭な部分が多い。君ほどの頭脳の持ち主がいれば新たなことがわかるかもしれない。その意味でも協力してくれると非常に助かるな。
そうそう、大佐いいこと言うじゃない。
だから大差じゃないんだな。まあいい。さらに言えば君だって一人で行動するよりは我々を利用した方が効率がいいはずだ。情報を収集するにしても当面の安全を確保するにしてもね。
確かにどう考えても普通の状況じゃないし、レンがいたら助かるっていうのも当たり前といえば当たり前よね。ティータに免じてこの場はおとなしくしてあげるわ。まずは話を聞かせてちょうだい。レン、
ありがとう。
言っておくけど、まずは話を聞くだけよ。それ次第でレンが協力するか決めさせてもらうんだから。
Yeah, sure you're not. Sure, you know, you're not just tsundere about helping us or anything.
なるほどね。おおよその事情は理解したわ。ファンタズマか。よく言ったものね。
もしかして何か分かったのかい？
分かったっていうほど確信はないんだけど、でも大佐さんの話を聞いて一つ見えてきたことがあるわ。
私の？
確かにレンもあの白い光に包まれたんだけど、大佐さんはその時着ていたのはその黒い軍服じゃなかったのよね。
だから大差じゃ。まあいいか。ああ、その時に着ていたのは普通のシャツにスラックスだった。
それじゃあ聞くけど、大佐さんその軍服にすごく思い入れがあるんじゃない？
え？
図星みたいね。未練があるのに切り捨てなくてはならない。
Yes, you should really look in the mirror before you say things like that.
そういったものの象徴なんじゃないのかしら。
ああ。
リシャールさん。
当然だろうな。
そしてこの世界に呼ばれた時、大佐さんはその服をまとって現れた。それは一体何を意味しているのかしらね。
未練が現実のものとして実体化した。すなわちこの影の国は人の想念によって変容しうる。
And we are finally starting to get somewhere.
あ、
そうきたか。
どういうこと？もうちょっとわかりやすく。 簡単なことよ。エステルたちも前にゴスペルによる夢をルシオラに見せられたでしょ。あ、
その人が望む夢の世界。
もちろんこの世界は決して夢なんかじゃないわ。でも人の望みに反応し、それを実体化させる。もしくは知っている場所を本物と同じように再構築する。そうしたプロセスはとっても似ていると言えるわ。
なるほどな。
確かにその説明だと石碑とか扉の働きも納得できるかも。
しかしこの状況そのものは我々の望んでいるものではありえないと思うんだが。
And plus, we could just think, oh, I wish these enemies were easier. I wish the Lord of Phantasm would go away. And that hasn't happened yet.
もちろんそうでしょうね。でもレンたち以外の誰かなら。
私たち以外の誰かがこの世界のあり方を望み、そしてその通りになっている。つまりそういうことですね。
やっとたどり着いたみたいね。もともと輝く輪は人の願いを叶えるための司法。それが失われた今、何がそれを可能にしているのか、レンにもわからないけれど。
Well, that's the thing. You might actually be closer to the mark than you think.
その誰かっていうのはほぼ明らかなんじゃないかしら。
This place does seem to be very similar to the Oriole, and I mean, we don't know what happened to it exactly.
影の王。
そう。そしてその人は最初から影の国にいたわけじゃない。最初からいたのは女の幽霊さんの方みたいね。幽霊さんはこの場所で影の国を見守ってきたけど。
So, seems like the Lord of Phantasma usurped her authority. And yeah, as you can, if you can understand Japanese, you know that the Lord of Phantasma is just called King of Shadows in Japanese. But I guess I like this term better.
影の王さんがやってきて彼女の力を奪って好き放題し始めた。そうして影の国は影の王さんの望むままにどんどん作り変えられていった。そんなところじゃないかしら。
あんたってばよくそこまで考えつくわね。
これは参った。まさか現時点の情報でそこまで読み解けるとはね。
レン、やっぱり君は天才だよ。
もうこのくらいその気になればヨシアにだってわかるはずよ。エステルと一緒にいて鈍さが映ったんじゃないの？
なんですって？
それはないと思うけど。
やれやれ。でもどうやら影の王さんはレンみたいにゲームが大好きみたい。エステルたちだけだとちょっと頼りなさそうだからレンが手助けしてあげるわ。特別なんだからね。
ああ、はいはい。せいぜい頼りにさせてもらうわ。よろしくね、レンちゃん。
そういうわけですぐにでも宝石を使って第五星層の先に行きましょう。レンたちが答えを出したことでゲームの進行は繰り上がったはず。多分影の王さんがすぐに次の手を打ってくると思うわ。
自信満々ですね。まあいいでしょう。他に選択肢もありませんし。ですが これまでと同じく各清掃の最終地点では悪魔の出現が予想されます。万全の準備をしておきましょう。
めんどくさいわね。でも悪魔か。本当にいるなら見てみたいな。ねえティータ、一緒に見に行ってみない？さすがにそれは危ないんじゃないかな。
I don't know, you're kind of overpowered, like, to the extreme.
あんなに堅くなだったのに、ああいうところは子供よね。
でも本当に良かった。なんとか一緒にいる間に今後の話ができるといいんだけど。
そうね。
And now, I'm sure many fans of the Sky games have been waiting for this moment for a very long time.
Here we go. Leave it to Ren.
Ren is our final party member, and oh boy, what a party member she is. So, as Richard is the broken physical attacker, Ren is the broken arts user. Her ATS stat is ridiculous, and here's the thing, it might look kind of low here, she actually has an Emerald Gem installed, so I'm going to take that away just so you can see how much better her ATS is supposed to look. This is with no Crimson Eyes or anything, by the way. And her Orbment is one single line with absolutely no restricted slots. You can literally use any quartz you want on her, because she starts out with all of her slots upgraded to level 3, obviously Ouroboros wouldn't skimp out on their augments, so you can use anything you want. Any art setup you can think of, Ren can use it, but I prefer to use her offensively for the most part, because yeah, why waste her massive ATS stat? Also, she comes with a few quartz we haven't seen before, such as Absorb, which, yeah, heals you whenever you defeat an enemy, and the Erica Russell quartz, which, honestly, I don't actually like this on Ren, because this only applies to crafts and physical attacks, which she doesn't use that often. So, yeah, Ren has crafts. She's kind of a reverse Richard, in that her crafts aren't bad by any means. In fact, some of them even have instant death chances on them, and actually I think all of them do, even her S-craft. But her arts are so good, why would you want to use her crafts? Her other weaknesses are, and yeah, she has an HP 4 installed, so I'm going to take that away just to show it. Yeah, Ren is probably the second most fragile party member after non-Orbital Gear Tita, which makes sense. But the thing is, you usually want to keep her in the back where she's not going to be taking hits anyway, and she doesn't need to be close to the enemy to be casting regardless, so it's actually not that big of a weakness. So, yeah, that's basically all I have to say about Ren. She is insane, and I will definitely be using her. She is one of the best party members in the game. And yeah, she has the same S-break she had when she was a boss in SC, with a 50% chance of instant death, which actually is usable, because, again, you don't really want to use CP for much on Ren, like, as in, like, she doesn't have much else to use CP for, so you might as well S-break with her when you can. I kind of wish she had a magic S-craft, though, but she does not, sadly, at this time. Now, I'm going to go ahead and set up her augment a little bit, because there's an art that I really want to use on her. It's called Calamitous Blast. This is a fairly powerful attack that also doubles as a 20% arts defense debuff, so it's kind of like Anti-Sept, except, so it's kind of like Orbital Down, I mean, except it does damage. It's not quite as strong of a debuff as Orbital Down, but it's close, and yeah, it also does a lot of damage. So, 21 time, 15 space, 8 wind and fire. I want fire on her anyway for Cyclone Napalm. And I want to see if I can also get Dark Matter EX at the same time. It's actually probably not that hard. Devastation Blast is fairly strong, but I don't really want to go for it, because, yeah, I'd rather have the debuff effect. And Genestic Barrier is awful. 600 EP, and it does the same thing as Earth Wall, it just only works on arts. Like, why would you use that? Why would you ever use that? It's just completely stupid. Also, yeah, Arc Drain is kind of dumb. It's an enormous cost for just draining EP. There's a lot of weird high-level arts in this game, but Yeah, I might show all of those in a demo at some point. But anyway, let's go ahead and set up Ren. Oh yeah, also speaking of setting her up, Ren's default setup is okay, but it has you might notice, a very distinct lack of action and cast quartz. So you obviously want to put those on her, especially cast. Okay, this is a dilemma. I can get Dark Matter EX and Calamitous Blast on the one set, but you might notice that this set lacks Sapphire Gem. If I put Sapphire Gem on, I lose Dark Matter EX. Yeah, Ren's ATS is kind of overkill, so you don't really need that much in the way of massive increases to that stat, but I would like to show off how crazy her arts damage can get right off the bat, so I'm going to keep the Sapphire Gem for now. Okay, let's upgrade a couple more slots on Reese to get her up to at least level 2 and everything. That's actually starting to hold her back a lot. So, Ren now has double Crimson Eyes. I don't like the speed penalty, but I just want to show how crazy her ATS can get. Especially when it's backed up by, yeah, Olivier's remote ability. So now she has almost 2,000 ATS. Yes, that is a thing that can happen. Although, I also need to show what Ren's remote ability is, so let's temporarily do something horrifying and take her out of the party.
You ready?
Because Ren's remote ability is actually pretty solid. Experience gain plus 15%, Seepeth gain plus 20%, defense minus 5%, which is not really that bad of a downside. It's very similar to Josette, except instead of raising drop rates, it raises experience gain. Its Seepeth gain's also a little bit less, but yeah, it's basically just one of those things you'll do if you're grinding or farming. I think I personally prefer Josette just because the experience formula in this game is so rubber bandy that you usually don't need experience boosts, but it's still nice to have. But yeah, I think, yeah, I want to go for Olivier just to show off how crazy this damage can get. So, those cutscenes with Ren, they went on way longer than I thought, and because of that, this part's going to be mostly about those cutscenes. I will be demoing Ren in one battle, though, just to show off how amazing she is. And actually, though, before I do that, I'm going to need to take her out of the party again, because there's actually quite a fun conversation you can get here if you don't have Ren in your party, and you also don't have Joshua or Chloe. So I'm going to go ahead and put in, I guess, Agate and maybe Zin. Because if you don't have Shara or Annalise, then you can get this amazing conversation.
アネラスさん？どうしちゃったの？
ほら、さっきレンちゃんが言ってたじゃない。この世界は人の望みによって変化するかもしれないって。
それは聞いたけど。
それでこの子、頑張ってぬいぐるみを出そうとしているわけ。
Yep, that's Annalise for you.
ちょっと静かにしてくださいよ。気が散るじゃないですか。モコモコポムのつぶらな瞳、ラブリーベアにふわふわパンダ。どれにしようかな。
あんたちょっと雑念が多すぎるんじゃないの？どれか一つに絞りなさいよ。
You know, I'm actually just picturing the concentration on multiple things working too well, and it just spawning this pom panda bear hybrid abomination thing. That would be kind of amazing. I'm sure Annalise would still love it though.
思いによって構造が変化しうる世界か。
Well, I don't think we should have told Oliver that because this is not going to end well.
そのことに気づくかどうかが第5清掃という遊戯版のクリア条件だとするならば、確かに終点は近いかもしれないね。
Or he could actually be in serious mode for once. It's very hard to tell with Oliver. Okay, so Josette is still with Kevin.
だいぶ落ち着いたね。少し微熱があるけど、このくらいなら問題ないかな。
Really? No, I actually think any kind of fever you should probably get checked. I just realized that I used the spring with the wrong people. I wanted to show Ren's S-Craft.
事態は想像していたより深刻なのかもしれん。この世界とルールが影の王によって作られたものだとすれば、脱出不可能な空間である可能性も否定できん。
Well, then wouldn't we just have to band our wills together and then will that we can leave this world? I mean, maybe that's how it works. Maybe we're only trapped here because we want to be? I don't know.
確かに私には未だ未練がある。
I will say I really like Richard's Japanese voice.
このような心をいつまでも抱えているわけにはいかないだろうが。
大佐どうかしたの？
いや、少し考え事をね。
Hold on. I'm so sorry.
執行者ナンバー15、殲滅天使レン。噂には聞いていたが、洞察眼も凄まじいものだな。
Yeah, one of the really interesting things about Ren that wasn't really got into all that much in SC is that she is a super genius. She's a very gifted child with an amazing intellect and is almost a living computer in a lot of ways. The problem is that she's also incredibly stunted maturity-wise because of an incredibly horrifically traumatic childhood, so it's just an interesting combination to have in a character.
うちの会社にも欲しいところだよ。
Oh boy, wow, she'd actually be kind of amazing at that. Yeah, like, honestly, if I... this seems kind of a weird thing to say, but if I pictured Ren as a Dungeons & Dragons character, she'd have an intelligence of maybe over 20, but a wisdom of 1.
ヨシュアに来ろうぜ。
Anyway, this is the good conversation that I wanted to talk about.
どうしたのこんなところで。
レンのことなんだけど。
エステルさんたちはリベールを立ってからレンちゃんを探していたんですよね。アクシスピラーではきちんと話ができなかったし、レンにはまだ伝えたいことがあったから。でもちょっといい顔してるみたいね。今はもう少しこのままで見守りたいかな。
そうだね。焦っても仕方がない。最後に決めるのはレン自身なんだし。
I mean, we tried that back in SC and it didn't end well at first.
この世界に取り込まれてしまったことが、ここでみんなと会えたことがレンにとっていい影響になればいいんだけど。
ええ、そうですね。
Another thing that I love about Ren is that I do feel like that she's a disturbing in some ways, but realistic depiction of a child soldier or the kind of people who get drawn into those kind of organizations and just how hard it can be to rehabilitate them. Ren is nowhere near there yet, but hopefully if she's surrounded by positive influences for long enough, then she'll start to change. And it's interesting that we have the contrast with Richard as well. Like, Richard is someone who's already starting to move on from his past, but Ren isn't quite there yet, but she's close.
そのお店でこの前買ったのとお揃いのブローチを見つけたのよ。真ん中の宝石が赤になっているの。いいなあ。大戸の百貨店だともう売り切れてたのに。私も赤いのが欲しかったな。それなら聞いた。今度2人でどこか遠くのお店に行ってみない？共和国の東方人街なら一日中見てたって飽きないのよ。
Well, just as long as you don't go to any of the gambling dens.
そうなんだ。それじゃあまた可愛い小物とか見てみたいな。あのね、この前買ったペンダントなんだけど。
盛り上がってるわね。
But, if she's having conversations like that, then I'm sure there's still hope for her. It's another great thing about Ren is that we do get those occasional flashes of her getting to have a normal childhood with her relationship with Tita, which is just so nice to see. but at the same time, she's still... I think her Japanese voice actress as well really sells just how... like, both the creepiness of Ren and also just all the emotions that she goes through, and also the fact that she's a child deep down as well. It's just... yeah, it's all just... Ren is probably one of my favorite characters in any RPG, actually. She's just... very good, but, and one of the reasons why is how amazing she is in battle. So let's go ahead and fight some poltergeists, which happen to be weak to time, to test that out. Now, you need to turn around, though. Let's see if I can... oh, they turned around again. So, right, Ren. Let's go over this. I don't really have, like, an ATS buff skill or anything. That would be kind of hilarious, but... okay, now I just have to hope that Ren can get her attack off before these things inevitably petrify us all. So, Calamitous Blast. Don't petrify everybody, please. Well, that's one person petrified. That's one person not petrified, and don't attack Annalise. Annalise loses the experience from this battle, because I'm pretty positive these things are all going to die in one shot. Yep, over 7,000 damage with a single attack. Huh, I think that's a rare win quote. I don't remember her saying that before. I do know that Ren actually does have a win quote that is reportedly a 1% chance, and I actually do have footage of this. If it never comes up during the playthrough, I happen to be just randomly testing out, I think it was like the Xbox game capture that my laptop had built into it. I was testing it out with my first playthrough of Sky the Third back in 2018, and I happened to, by coincidence, record that rare win quote from Ren. So, again, I have footage of that. We will see it if it doesn't come up during the regular playthrough. But I have not seen that Ren wins quote. That must also be pretty rare. It's actually something that I wish more JRPGs did, like having rare win quotes, because you fight a lot in JRPGs, and that would actually give like a lot of variety to battles. I know that Xenoblade does that with... I don't want to talk over the Shazam, because I love Ren's Shazam voice clip. I just love hearing that. But, yeah, I know that a lot of the Xenoblade games have some rare victory conversations. But I feel like it would just be something that would make repeated battles feel fresher. Just the fact that, like, sometimes you see rare victory quotes from characters. That's 2 fights. I really want to fight one more thing. Ah, one of these. Okay, that could be interesting to fight. Let's see how much she does with the strongest single targeting art in the game. Her English voice actress is Sandy Fox, I believe. Yeah, that... Yes, I am pretty heavily min-maxing Ren towards magic. She normally doesn't do that much damage, but still. It's just like... Yeah, Ren is pretty great. Also, I should be using Reese's spare turns to use Holy Blessing and get her charged up on CP. But I might leave you in suspense and use her S-Craft in the next part. Because I'm not going to be making any progress in this one, because again, those cutscenes went on very long. Ren Shazam is one of those voice clips that I just get a huge amount of joy every time I hear it, because it means that all the enemies are just about to explode. And that's Ren's most disturbing win quote. But it's probably her most common, from what I remember. But yeah, with that, we have shown off what Ren can do, and next time we will be progressing further into the Labyrinth of Shadows and Light. See you all then.